Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back for another video. I know it's been a while. I've just not been the right mindset for making YouTube videos. I've just not been really enjoying YouTube. But I'm back, and hopefully I'll make more videos. I say that, but it's all about my effort, and like I'm starting to do a lot more during days. But hopefully I'll carry on doing it. Thanks so much for 50 subscribers. It means so much to me. It really does mean the world when you guys show me support. Like, YouTube's been such there for all my life for a long time, so it is nice to get some support once in a while. Because I have no ideas, I'm going to do football predictions, because that is the best thing I could think of. And I was really struggling for ideas, as you could tell, as I'm doing football. But it worked well last time. Why not give it another try? So I'm going to go from relegation, and then middle, and then upper middle, and then up to the top, right at the end. So my predictions for 20th, I believe, will be Watford, as 5 points from 11 games is not good enough. They've scored the least amount of goals, and it's just not good enough on their behalf. Manager changes haven't changed it. Their players don't seem to put up enough fight, like Gerard Deulofeu. He's good, but he's very inconsistent. And yeah, just 20th. 19th, I will believe, is going to be Norwich. They are there now, but I just think they've not ready for the Premier League yet. They were good for the Champions League, but I don't think they are ready for Premier League, as the way they play just seems to be good, but not as good. With big shock defeats against Man City seem to be the only highlight, and the probably only highlight of their entire time in the Premier League. I don't really see anything else for them. Pukki is doing well, depending how he is, but you can't rely on Pukki. Spurs rely on Harry Kane. Look what they are right now. 18th, I believe, will be Southampton. With the worst goal difference in the league, joint to Watford, and with the most goals let in the league, you can't help but think they're going to get relegated this year. It's been a long time for the Saints to be in the Premier League, but I believe this is their time. With a 9-0 battering against Leicester and other games underperforming, they did do well against Manchester City, but still losing 2-1. Showing they aren't very good at holding out games, and even with one of their best performances, they still didn't win. In 17th, I believe, will be Aston Villa, as they have had a good start of the season, giving Liverpool a good run for a bit, and just really good games in general. But I feel like Norwich, they're not completely ready, but I think they're just about. I don't know what will be in store for them next season, but this season they seem like they have just about enough to get through and stay. In 16th, I believe, will be Newcastle, which is a little controversial, but I believe they haven't been performing at their high standards as they normally do, even with good results against Spurs and Man United. When they're playing people around their area, they haven't been performing enough, and they haven't been winning. So I believe they will be 16th. Now in 15th, I believe, will be Burnley. Even though selling a lot of their good players like Keane and all of them lot, they still perform every year. And with VAR being a massive thorn in their side, it is difficult for them to get more wins, as it seems to be VAR is heavily against them. But they do still able to get the points in, with 12 points from 11 games. I don't think that's enough for 11 games. But I feel like they will improve throughout the season, even though they're going to drop a position. In 14th, I believe, will be Everton. It's just not their year. I don't think they'll be able to recover. They haven't done bad, but they also haven't done great. Actually, they've done pretty bad, to be fair. You would expect more from a team which is with the likes of Jordan Pickford, Calvert-Lewin. You would expect better. And with the injury to Gomez, I don't believe they couldn't really just bounce back. From the amount of losses they've had at the start of the season, I really think that will not help them very much. In 13th, I believe, will be West Ham, another controversial one, but I believe they haven't been performing enough to the ability West Ham can. which has put them in also 13th position now. With only 13 points from 11 games, they are losing and drawing games they really should be winning. Not being clinical enough in front of goal has really led them to really drop many points in this division. In 12th, I believe, will be Brighton. A good start, a very good start of the season, with 15 points from 11 games and are 8th in the division. Very strong from the Seagulls and putting off good performances against their rivals. Impressive, you can say the least, but I still think they will drop points because the Premier League is a harsh league, and I don't think they will be able to keep up that consistency. Still, 12th would be good for them. 11th, I believe it will be Sheffield United. The Blades have been very well this season, performing to a very high standard and giving Liverpool also another scare. They've been very scared a lot. But being very strong and very showing out games and just being very mighty and having loads of confidence, and that's what you want in a club that's just been promoted. So I believe they will be able to do very well. In 10th, I believe, will be Bournemouth, as they are 7th now in the league with 16 points from 11 games as well, only behind the Blades on goal difference, but they are doing well in most games. A little bit of inconsistency, but after beating United, I think they have what they to take to get into a good position. In 9th, I believe, will be Crystal Palace, and I think they have been doing very well in this division, and yeah, I just think they'll perform to a high standard. In 8th, I believe, will be Wolves. Not a great start to the season, if I'm honest, but after last year, and I really do like Wolves as a club, and just being well, I feel like they will pull it back. They are only 12th, and 10th is only Manchester United, which is only behind them on goal difference, so I really do see them hitting 10th place. Oh, 8th place. My bad. 8th place, which is still only 2 points above, with Brighton being there, and I feel like Brighton will drop points, and as soon as the Europa League progresses, I feel like their confidence and ability to just play better will become better. They haven't really changed their team much from the original season, but seems like a good season for them, and I feel like they will go far. In 7th, I think, would be Manchester United. Solskjaer's at the wheel, and they're doing bad. I don't know what they're going to do, but I do believe they're not going to... I don't think they'll stay 10th. I don't think they'll stay where they are, which is 10th. I do believe they will pick up the pace after a while. I feel like they're still finding their feet right now, and it proves they can perform with draws against Liverpool and just good performances all round. But like sometimes performing very badly has been, as with losses against Bournemouth and other small clubs are proving their true inconsistency, but I feel like they will improve over time. 6th, I believe, is Spurs. Not gonna be 3rd like they have been for the last few years. I don't believe that. They've been lucky, and Harry Kane isn't the striker he used to be. And after watching the match against Everton this week, which was not a red card to Son, by the way, without Harry Kane, they do look lifeless, and I did think Everton did put up a good fight against them. But I don't really have much to say about Spurs. They will clinch Europa League. Don't know how good they'll do in the Champions League. But it's just inconsistency, like Manchester United, just not on a higher scale. But inconsistency seems to be a problem with most of the top teams right now. And that's why I also think Arsenal will be 5th. Now into the top 4. Now, to be honest, this season was quite easy to do predictions, like no one's really performing to a very high level. So I really thought Chelsea would be 4th. At the start of the season I did think they'd do a lot worse after the 4-0 defeat at Manchester United and other bad scores. But after a while they did pick themselves up, and I do feel impressed with their way of play, and I do think Frank Lampard's a very good manager. So, yeah. From 23 points from 11 games, 25 goals, it's just them conceding. It seems to be their problem, with 17 goals let in, which is the highest in the top 6, in top 8, in top 10. If they can fix that and fix their defence, I think they will retain their position and get Champions League. In third, I believe will be the same. I think it will be Leicester. Leicester, it's back to their 2015-16 season when they pulled that out of the bag and won it. They're playing very strong, and Vardy's playing to his best again. And after the 9-0 win against Southampton, you can really see their confidence and their potential to do great really shining through. And I do believe that will carry on throughout the whole of the season and maybe push them up. They did have the chance to go second on Saturday, but things didn't go their way. In second, last year I said it would be Man City and I was wrong. But this year I'm gonna say Man City again. Liverpool, they ain't gonna do it twice, will they? I don't think they will. I am a Man City fan and I'm trying not to be biased. So I'm gonna be biased against my team. And I do think Liverpool are a very strong team. You can see that from the Champions League win. And I feel like they won't go as much for the Champions League this year. So I think they'll go more for the league and they won't choke 6 points like they did last time. And that means obviously in first place it is Liverpool. I believe they will do very well and I don't think there'll be much of a point gap between the two. So that is my football predictions. If you like them, please like and subscribe if you haven't. I love you all. Thank you all for subscribing, even if you're my worst enemy. Choose you all, and yeah, it's been quite good. If you want another story, if you want me to talk about my life, comment below. I'm really open to any suggestions. I want to get back into the YouTube. I want to get back to posting videos. I did enjoy videos, but it's just not having the ideas. I'm quite a short-minded guy. I'm not that smart. And it's just with school and stuff, it's hard to think of ideas. So if you give me an idea and you tell me you want me to do something, I will do it for you guys. Okay? Because I do like YouTube. And if you want a story or any of those wacky ones, go ahead. Because yeah, maybe I'll talk about one. I don't know, maybe I will. Maybe I'll go on about how her mum followed me. I'm not sure if I want to or yet, and I will need to get consent, so I don't know if I'll be able to. Right from that, thank you so much for 50 subscribers. Still don't know if I've got that, but if I do, yes. Really happy, and it did mean a lot to me when I realised I had 50. Because that feels like a lot to me right now. I know it isn't a lot, but it does feel like a lot to think about 50 different people have subscribed to me. And not myself, if anyone's wondering. Yeah. Guess I was going to win the fight. See y'all later.